Hi Mohammed, I'm just doing a review of shot 400 Cupid Start Job. This is the 31st of January 2010. So let's have a look at your shot. Going back to the beginning and play through it. It's all coming along very well. I've got a list of about 6 notes here to have a look at, and I'll just whip through them as quickly as I can. So from the top of the list we've got locked hands on the armrest. Now what that means is, do you see how you're doing this push action here? And the actual hands, let's go back to it, there and there feel completely locked, as in there's the surface, there's the hand, and no matter how you move, whatever you're doing, the palm, this section, feels like it's completely locked. And what I'd like to be able to see is that when he pushes, you might get a little bit of rotation, or there might be some sort of give in the cushion in some way. You can intersect the cushion a little bit if you need to, but that lock, that hand, should not stay 100% orientated to the world like that all the time. It needs to push. I mean, you could push and turn the cushion if you want to, if that's what you need to do in order to break it up. It's just that that hand is fixed in its orientation in space, and that looks a little bit artificial. I'll just show you that again. So run it back, watch the hands, they're just kind of locked, despite the hands and the fingers, sorry, the arm going into the hand and the fingers on either side moving. The hand is completely locked in orientation. Okay, the next note was the tail at around 78, and that's just a bit of a, let's get to that properly. Here, there's just this, it's looking a bit ropey around here. Go to 78. So here, that's kind of nasty right there, and it would look a lot better if that was smoothed out, you know. It might be that you need to just take this part of the body and rotate it around that way. Let's get a colour that we can see. Better that one. Might need to rotate the body a little bit there in order to make that a nicer, straighter shape. Overall, actually, the tail just needs a bit of work. You can afford to. Let's see, what is it doing at the moment? Okay, run it back. If you want to, you can make this stretch. So take, for example, here. You're kind of making it reach out there as part of the stretch. If you want to, you can actually stretch the tail. It's an amorphous shape. It's going to be cloud later, so it doesn't actually have to have any consistency to its overall volume, overall shape. So you can stretch it out if you need to, or put jiggle in it or whatever, and have a bit more fun with that. I'm actually, so that's the tail, right arm anticipate reach at 66. What was that? So, oh yeah, right, okay, this is just this right arm over here. It just slides down, goes from here, just straight slides down into here. It'd be really nice to see a bit of an anticipation, so it would come up before going down, because at the moment you don't know, the audience doesn't know they're meant to be looking over there yet, and what happens is the hand just slides away and you don't know where it went or what it was going for until it's come out. In fact, you kind of missed the coming out because your eye wasn't drawn to it in the first place. So if you just do a little bit of an anticipation, it could be that he pulls the hand up and then goes like that before going down. It might mean a quicker action. It'll just draw the audience eye to that portion of the frame. Then when he pulls the wand out, that's where they're looking. They're already looking in that area because you drew their attention to that part of the screen. So that was that one. Right arm anticipated 66. Hold one for a beat at 84. Right. That's this. This is a really nice pose. and we need to see that pose for a beat, just a moment before he hits the button. At the moment the whole action all happens in one, and you kind of don't register that he's hitting the button on the remote, because the whole thing pulls out and doof, it's down there. You didn't register me pressing that button because it all happened in one action. But if you pull it out, go to that, and just kind of linger through this portion of the pose for just a little bit longer, that might mean taking those keys and setting some keys here and here, and then just stretching them out in the timeline so that you get it held in that area for just a moment, just long enough so that we can see that thumb up clearly, and then do that in a quicker action, and or hit that, then that, so that we actually see him hit the button. Right, hold beat at 84, body lift stretch. Right, now the stretching action, you've put quite a bit of work into this and it's really coming along, but the only trouble is every little thing, every little touch you're putting into it, you're putting in as a separate action. So the fingers are doing their own thing, the shoulders are doing their own thing, the head's doing their own thing. It doesn't quite feel like a whole, and it's because there isn't a really big broad action happening in here. So for example, if I pull up into this pose here, theoretically at this pose here, he's pushing up, but his body's not moving up. His head's moving up a little bit. You've made the arms push down a little bit, and you're making the fingers do their thing, but the body's not going anywhere. And it would be really nice to see the body push up. Let me see, if I just do it myself, I actually get... my chest might actually come up. I might change the arc of my body. I can't show you here. I'll draw it on the screen. So if we find the right frame for that. Right, so we might say this is our anticipation pose, and then it comes up to here, and perhaps what we do is you tilt this portion of the body so that it does a little bit more of this. Not maybe that extreme, just a little bit. And what would be good to see, and it doesn't matter if we intersect the cushion a little bit, is to take this volume and move it down a little bit. So that pushes into the cushion, right? And then stretch the body and have the torso come up just a bit, like that sort of thing. And then that way we'll see the arms actually stretching more. I mean, if you can get it to a point where they stretch out straight, that's even better. I mean, I would recommend going for that. You stretch it like that, and then perhaps what happens, hand is down here, and you tilt it up a little bit. So that, by tilting up I mean, right, where is the angle? You go down like that. Then the cushion gets pushed down, and if you need to, you can turn the cushion out. And that just kind of makes the whole pose a lot more extreme. And then you might do that, or worry about that later, but I mean, you might do that. The actual head, what it's doing is pretty cool. Obviously the head position will move up when you do this. And that will just make the whole pose all happen in one go, and make it more extreme.